Here it is. The grid are all lined up. Qualifying is done. 5 lights. Lights out and away we go in a very slow start as Alex gets the start that he wants to. Kegis not so much as we have a virtual safety car already before turn 1. Fancy up into P2 just behind Alex. Kegis P3. QSR Dingerling finds himself up to 4th. That is absolutely mental. The virtual safety car is already out. And after 200 meters, there has already been a stoppage to green racing. I think that might be the LBL record. I genuinely think that might be the LBL record. Vincent with a 10-second penalty already for ignoring yellow flags. Already a penalty. We already see a victim of the virtual safety car. Same with Alfie. This is not a good look already. Maybe some of the cars just weren't set up in time, weren't able to get the car stopped, but unfortunately they will have those penalties. They can serve them in the race, of course, if they wish to do so. But currently, your order is Alex, Fancy, Kegis, Dingerling, Diggs, Sulkin, Hamish up into 7th. I said he qualified 10th. I said he wouldn't be happy with 10th. As we're back to green racing, we're on board with Kegis in 3rd. We've got 26 laps of slidey racing around Silverstone. Zenko is in 8th. I'm going to change it so that it's the gap to the leader, or no, interval would be good, so I can see how close people are to each other. As we've got Zenko in 8th, just behind Hamish. As we're approaching the end of the first lap, they make a little bit of contact. Alex with the fastest lap of a 2 minute and 1 second. And he's already a second ahead of Kegis. Alex, he must be the wet weather machine, the master of Silverstone during the wet. Kegis finds himself in P2 after Fancy has fallen back. He goes to where he started. And the front three are as they were at the start. Dingerling in P4, Diggs losing out, same with Sulkin. Zenko up into 7th. He's gained 6 positions since the start of the race. Hamish dropped to 8th, then Zenko did get that move on him. Zeno in 9th. Driv is our final person in the top 10. Although something new for the LBL this season, the top 15 racers will be awarded points. So instead of it being the usual format of the top 10, it will be the top 15. So those who are, you know, down in the late teens, early 20s, they might still have a feeling that they've got something to fight for, especially if the gap is as close as it is. You know, you got Vixo, who is currently in 16th. He's currently 9/10 behind the points paying positions of Chunk in the Audi in 15th. Alex still P1 with Kegish just behind him. Fancy in 3rd. Kegish setting the fastest lap of the race so far. Drivers are going to start being a bit more comfortable, getting into their groove. Fancy running a tiny bit wide there. Holding down 3rd for now. Huge understeer into the corner. Sliding around. As I'm most impressed so far with Zenko. He is currently in 7th. Not far behind Sulkin and Diggs. We are in for some tasty racing. I'm not sure what the weather forecast is saying. I don't know if it's changing. I don't know if the weather's changing at all, or if we are staying full wet for the entire race. But so far we have 21 racers. This in itself could be an LBL record. 21 race starters, 21 racers still going. As DZ is a minute and 35 down. He finds himself on lap 3. I'm not quite certain what is going on. Maybe that's just a glitch of some sorts. Let's get on board with Kegis at the front of the grid. He's staying close to Alex with a yellow flag in Sector 2. I'm not quite sure what that was that happened. We're on board with Zuna, with Vincent just behind him as they approach Stone. No heroics here from Vincent. Vincent on the inters. We've got a few people on the inters. Sulking, Vincent and Alfie. Maybe they have seen something that other teams haven't. As we have our first retirement, Kurisin has retired in Sector 3. Will this bring out a safety car? I don't think it will. Vincent clearly getting the job done here. These inters seem to be working for people. These inters seem to be working for people. So maybe that's maybe that's the call. As we are on board with Diggs finding himself in P5, as QSR Dingaling has got himself up into 3rd. He's overtaken Fancy. The internet has, and to quote, unshat itself, and he is flying. Although Fancy in the Red Bull, the sister car of the Racing Bulls, I know this man very well. He is not going to let up easily. He wants that podium. As I can't tell if Deacon here, QSR Dingaling, is going wide or not. His internet clearly has not unshat itself. But this is the most biblical racing so far. What a start to the race. Everybody is now settled in. Kegis now only 4/10 behind Alex. He has closed that gap in the last lap. I wasn't keeping an eye on him, but now he's within striking distance. I thought Alex was going to run away with this. He had a second gap on Kegis after the first lap, and he's staying close with Alex. Who'd have thought the Cadillacs and the Hearties would be battling for P1 and P2? It's clear who the two front runners are. There is an absolute huge gap forming now as Vixi Lizard picks up a penalty for multiple warnings. The Alpine driver down in 16th. His teammate just up the road from him in 14th in the points paying positions. He's driven Alfie getting into it. Oh, Alfie off track. What's going on here? Bit of side-by-side action. Around left field they go, giving each other plenty of space, keeping it nice and clean. Are these inters actually working for this McLaren? For our darling, our sweethearts. Fancy's left the session. I'm not quite sure why. I'm not quite certain what's going on, but Fancy's falling down the order as we speak. Drift makes the lunge up inside of Maggots. Fancy's game has crashed. I can invite people back if need be. DTY has retired from the session as we have what looks like a virtual safety car. A couple of people pitting, perhaps coming off to serve the penalties under a VSC. It's a cheap pit stop. Alfie's electing to stay out. While this is calming down, I will quickly invite Fancy back to the race. I don't see him online. There he is. And it is a full course safety car. It has been upgraded to a full safety car. Fancy, who was running in 3rd, has dropped to 11th due to that disconnection. Although a little bit of a blessing in disguise, the safety car. We have our first safety car on lap 6 of this race. Now what happens? Oh my Lord. The safety car is going to pull over and wait for the leaders to pick up. I think this might be an LBL record. Lap 6 on our first safety car. I'm proud of you boys. We're evolving. We are evolving. Kegis is going to match Alex and come in. So is Dingaling. So is Diggs. And Sulkin is going to stay out. So Sulkin will gain the net lead of this race due to everybody in front of him pitting, and he will collect the safety car. Alfie with another 10 seconds. Is everybody moving to Inters? They are. Everybody's moving to Inters. So the gamble for the Inters runners has paid off. Vincent up into 9th. Sulkin in the lead. Alfie down in 10th. I think he's serving a penalty. But now we have Sulkin in P1 of this race. He didn't have the most fantastic of qualies by his standards. He qualied P5. He aborted his last lap attempt, and now he finds himself about a quarter of a way through this race in P1, leading the pack around. So, as we are watching cops at a very sluggish pace, here is your order of Silverstone. This is round 1. For those watching on YouTube, we are live over on Twitch. Twitch.tv/LawtonLad. Come and say hello. You'll be able to see the action live every Thursday, 7 PM British Standard Time. So on board, Sulking here in the Aston Martin P1. Just behind him, Alex in P2 after himself, Kegis in P3, Dingaling in P4, and Diggs P5, all pitted, which gave Sulkin the net lead after his bold choice to go on the Inters at the start of the race, having paid off. We find ourselves with Zenko up in 6th. Zeno in 6th. This is going to be hard to get used to. Zeno in 6th. Zenko in 7th. Fancy up into 8th. He did have that DC. He was running in 3rd. He did disconnect. He dropped to 11th, but he has improved to 8th. So it's not all doom and gloom. And at least it's under a safety car, so everyone will be bunched together. And he's on fresh Inters. Zuna in 9th in the other Aston Martin. Teammate running a 1.9. Driv 10th. Bonnie 11th. Hamish, our beast from the east, who is more blessed than the rest, finding himself in 13th. Is that potentially... Oh, no, he's gone up to 12th. Alfie is going to serve his penalties. So he has a clean slate for when we get back to racing. Dingaling does also have a penalty. I never saw that one get picked up. Chunkunks in 13th. Install in 14th. Maybe installing some aim is not the thing he needs to prioritise. Maybe he needs to install some racecraft. I'm sorry, that was rude. Vincent 15th, obviously pitted and served his 10-second penalty. Cam, one of the LBL OGs, also alongside his teammate Chunkunks, 2 LBL OGs. He finds himself 16th. DZ in the Tractormobile 17th. Alfie down in 18th. This is going to be a tall order for him to climb his way back through the points. But he is penalty free. So he served his 2 penalties. He has no obligations to pit and serve penalties. There won't be anything served at the end of the race. And closing out the rest of the finishers at the moment, struggling, it would appear, with pace, is Vixo Lizard, one of the GOATs of the new lineup. 2 DNFs so far. DTY in the Williams, he stepped in as a reserve, and Kurisin of the Haas. Very unfortunate for both of them to have not finished this race. But I am excited for green racing. I am excited for this to get up and running once again. We want action, we want racing. I was hoping for a dry race, but it's Britain. Like always, the weather is always so unpredictable. The weather, honestly, it's a roll of a dice what sort of weather we're going to get. In real life, in the real world, it is currently 36 degrees. Everybody is absolutely sweating at the minute. Okay, I think I would presume this is going to be our last lap. Vixo really wants to get a wiggle on if he's to catch up to the rest of the grid before it restarts. He should make it. He should make it. Mounting that sausage curb like he's in a rush for something. Vixo does love mounting things, though, it must be said. Of course, if there are any team radios, I will read them out loud. So, if I do see any team radios come across in the chat, live on Twitch, twitch.tv/LawtonLad, I will read them out. I would imagine this is the last lap before we get green racing again, which we're eagerly waiting for. Sulkin is your race leader, having not pitted starting on the Inters. He managed to leapfrog Alex, Kegis, QSR and Diggs to gain the lead of this race while they all pitted for Inters themselves. The safety car is in this lap. We're going to be on board with Alex. Should we see what sort of launch Sulkin gets? He's warming up them tyres as much as he can. I'm ready for some green racing. As Alfie's picked up another penalty. Alfie's picked up another penalty. We've got an Audi race engineer. Clearly the other cars are illegal and cheating, otherwise my drivers would be P1 and 2. Some questionable comments there from the Audi race engineer, but we'll let it go. As Sulkin takes the reins, he restarts. A good reaction time from Alex just behind him. Hits the curb, nearly loses the carb there. Kegis in P3, caught lacking a tiny bit. As we restart here, we are about to enter lap 10. Alex all over the place. Sulkin with a lightning launch, nearly a second up already. This is dream. This is a dreamland for Sulkin. He's gone from qualifying 5th. He had to abort his last lap to starting on Inters, making the gamble, and he now leads this race from Alex, our pole sitter. Kegis tightly behind in 3rd. As we have Dingerling in 4th on the potato Wi-Fi, but still holding it down. Does have a penalty, so depending on what's what, could finish elsewhere. Zeno is finding himself up into 5th, going alongside. It's nearly 3 wide as we go into Brooklands. Zeno getting the move done on Diggs just about. As Zenko also looking to get mixed in the action. Fancy up into 8th. He was 3rd. He disconnected from the race, dropped to 11th. but I don't think he's going to finish 8th if he has anything to say about it. Oh, look how sluggish the cars are, nearly losing the back end through Cops. As that silver arrow in front of Fenty is getting wider and wider. It is getting more visible on his screen by the second. He is catching. He is catching right now. There is a bit of a train forming here as the front runners have started to clear away from this. From about 5th to 8th or 9th, there is a bit of a train forming. And I tell you what, you've got to feel for Obalf Racing. It's gone from bad to worse for him. He had 2 penalties earlier on, which he cleared underneath the safety car. And he's gone and got himself another one. He is jostling for position with Cam. But you do have to feel for him. He's now got another 10 seconds as Hamish is going really slow. I'm not too sure what's happened there. Maybe a bit of contact. We'll have to have a look in the steward submissions later on. The 2 Alpines, unfortunately, maybe it's out of their control, but unfortunately right now they have really not showed up today. As Hamish, his tyres, they are not working with him. His tyres are really not working with him at the moment. We're on board with Cam, the Audi, one of the LBL originals, as he sits behind our darling, our sweetheart Alfie, who looks to make a lunge up the inside of the other Audi teammate, Chunk Kunks. Look at this. We have our darling, our sweetheart. We have all 3 LBL original members here as Chunk is taking Alfie. I don't know if that was a mistake, but he has gone into Alfie there. He has pushed Alfie off track. I think we will be seeing POVs of this after the race. I'm not too certain. I didn't quite see as I was on board with Cam instead. Cam, normally the more hostile of the 2, is being a lot more tame today. Clean racing from our Audi engineer. Although I think the McLaren might have something to say about that. As Cam, huge snap, nearly loses the car. Alfie alongside, there's a slight bit of wheel contact. Cam's going to go back up the inside of Alfie. They do make contact again. This is heavy racing, wheel-to-wheel stuff. Constant racing. You love to see it, for the most part being clean. This is what the LBL is all about, the most biblical racing league on the planet. We are so back. And Vixo has retired. He's retired into the pits. I think it's gone from worse to woeful for Vixo. He never really got going, unfortunately. That is a shame for Vixo. He'd done quite a bit of preparation this week for it. However, the first race week will end in a DNF for himself. But what this means for people like Hamish, DZ, Alfie, is the more people that retire, the closer they are to the points. Because the top 15 are the points paying positions. Just by finishing in 15th, you get a point. Fastest lap does also guarantee a point as well. So there is more to play for. Just because you finish in 18th doesn't mean you can't get a fastest lap. We are approaching halfway through this race. Sulkin still in P1 is Alex up behind him, looking to make the move into Stowe. He goes around the outside. Sulkin not giving him much space to work with. Comes out in front. The order stays the same as it is. And Fenty picking up a 3-second time penalty. Oh, it's gone from bad to worse. Hamish, 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. I think my man's on a warpath. He's lost a bit of his front wing. What's he going to do with himself? Dingerling taking the fastest lap of the race so far. Even though you're down, you're not out. Pit. Get yourself a new front wing. Go again. There could be a safety car. Hamish has retired in the pits. Alpine will score no points today. That is very unfortunate. There is always next week. There is always next week. So again, now, this is what I was saying earlier on. There are only 2 positions that aren't going to be getting points today. This front 4, I should say, are absolutely on it. They are not letting off whatsoever. We've got 2 little battles here. We've got a battle for 3rd and a battle for 1st. Sulkin is still leading the race, in stall lane, picking up a penalty. Going through Stowe as we are hitting the halfway mark in this race. The order is Sulkin in the Aston Martin P1, having qualified 5th, chose the risk of going on the intermediates. Finds himself in P1 after a round of pit stops. Alex P2, Kegis P3, Zeno with the fastest lap in P5, QSR P4. He didn't think he was going to be racing today. He turned up at 7 p.m. on the dot, ready to race. Sulkin there, the back end is sliding. They are older tyres. They are older tyres. You do have to remember that. Diggs in P6. Zenko P7 fighting for P6. Fancy P8, Drift P9, Bonnie P10, Vincent P11, Zuna P12, Install P13, Camdog P14, Alfie, our darling, our sweetheart, is in the last points paying positions. Although he is looking to improve. He does have a 10-second time penalty. This battle for 15th is really where it's at the moment. Down the Wellington straight we go. Alfie faking the move to the inside, electing to go around the outside. Cam gives him the space. A bit of a squeeze though. Cam will remain ahead. Oh, slight bit of sliding there from Cam. Are they going to make contact ever so slightly? They do. Although it is not handbags at dawn just yet. We are still all smiles round. Front wings attached to the car. Alfie was thinking of doing a Lewis Hamilton, decided not to. 2 cars don't always go into one on that corner. This is amazing racing. I'm really enjoying this. Oh, Cam left the door open, but he lunges back in. We are going down the hanger straight. The order really not changing much. This is where the most amount of action has been during this race so far. This battle for P15, for P14 now, the final points paying position. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. This is what it's all about. Alfie thinking about the lunge onto the inside. Cam Dog says no thank you. This is where the LBL truly shines bright. We might have bad lobbies sometimes, but above all we have biblical racing as Alfie gives a love tap to Cam. Thinking about a move to the inside. Cam going ultra defensive. Stops the car in time. As we need to quickly come back up here as Kegis and Dingerling are getting into it. I saw positions changing very briefly there. We're going to stay on board with QSR for now in the Racing Bull. This car sounds delicious, I must say. Absolutely amazing sound. Can't say the same for his Wi-Fi though. Good Lord, someone lend him a hotspot. .11 laps remaining of this 50% around Silverstone. Live action, the LBL round 1. The revival, the resurrection. They said it couldn't be done. They were wrong. The LBL is here and it is here to stay as Sulkin getting into it with Alex. I still think Sulkin, with those tyres, I still think there's going to be a slip at some point. Much older tyres, he never pitted. I know it's not as detrimental in wet weather racing, but older tyres do mean less performance, and Alex has not given him any respite whatsoever. He has stayed hot on his heels the whole time since the safety car restart on lap 6. It's gone from worse to woeful for Fancy, another 3-second time penalty for himself. I don't think that's a penalty he would want to be cashing in anytime soon. The gap between the front two and Kegis has swapped. Although Dingling has just retired from the session. We have our second safety car. Just as I was saying, we have not had a safety car. Dingling has retired from the session. What on earth has happened? And why are people braking? Oh, a wheel disconnection, a hardware malfunction from Deacon, from Dingaling. Oh, that is so unfortunate. He was racing in third, in fourth. He had a lightning start. Oh, that is really unfortunate. That is really unfortunate. We will have our second safety car of this race. I'm surprised it's only been 2, to be honest. By LBL standards, all 6 would have been used at this point. For those who are not aware, the first ever season, which happened in 2021, we did Bahrain as our first race, and we had a safety car before turn 1. Courtesy of Ben P and Jada Corsi. Oh, lordy. Anybody thinking of pitting? A couple of people are. Sulkin staying out again, but Sulkin gets a drive-through penalty. You can't write this stuff. Sulkin has a drive-through. Just when you thought it was going his way, after out-qualifying, after underperforming in quali, getting himself up into the lead of the race, he now has a drive-through penalty. That is so unfortunate. But one thing I am seeing here is we have Zenko up 11 positions in second, and with Sulkin's penalty, speaking of penalties, DC getting a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. With Sulkin's drive-through, you can say Zenko is in the net lead of this race. He started 13th. He is second on track. This is absolutely amazing. This is the stuff that like dreams are made of. Heavily underperformed. He only came in as a reserve today. He only came in as a reserve for this race. Underperformed in quali. I was very surprised. He aborted his final lap. Excuse me. Aborted his final lap. Had to settle for P13. Maybe 13 isn't an unlucky number. Maybe it's lucky. Because as it stands, it's Zenko in net P1. Providing he doesn't go and put himself in the back of Sulkin, and he will take the lead of this race. Sulkin going to serve his drive-through, as he will get out ahead of a lot of other people. Obviously, what with it being a safety car. I'm not quite sure where Sulkin will find himself after all of this. Sulkin has decided to pit instead. Those 17 lap old tyres, he's taking them off. He's going to run round. Hopefully there's no doubter for him. This is a Ferrari strategy, I swear. And he will go and serve his drive-through and then just try and go. Of course, he can't serve a drive-through under a safety car. I completely forgot. That completely ruined, left my mind. You can't serve a drive-through underneath the safety car. So we will wait for green racing, and then he'll serve his drive-through straight away. We have the Ferraris of Diggs and Driv in P2 and 3 respectively. Zenko, net lead race. Alex in P4. He will have something to say about this. Vincent P5. Kegis P6. Zeno P7. Zuna up into P8. Fancy has clawed his way up a little bit. He is up in P9. Cam finding himself in 10th. He's gained 7 positions. Fantastic outing from the Audi. Bonnie P11, install P12. Sulkin, of course, we know why. He's pitted, he's down in P13, and of course does have a drive-through to serve. Chunk, P14. Alfie in the McLaren, our darling, our sweetheart, in the last points-paying positions. And DZ in P16. We currently have 5 DNFs of QSR Dingaling due to a wheel disconnection. Hamish and Vixo, both the Alpines. The strategy, they didn't get it right today, so Alpine will score no points this afternoon. DTY, I'm not quite sure what happened with DTY, as DZ's getting penalties underneath the safety car. And Kurisin, unfortunately, there was a sync issue with his game, I believe. We'll stay on board with DZ just for now as he looks to catch up the rest of the grid. He is praying that the safety car stays out until he catches. We have 7 laps remaining of this British Grand Prix. 50%, the inaugural round, the opener of the LBL. We are so back after 5 years. Unfortunately, we didn't get dry racing, but we got biblical racing. So many battles going on up and down the grid. Everybody trying to improve just that little bit. I would wager this is the last lap before the safety car restarts. Everyone's slamming on the brakes. We do not want to be seeing people get penalties right now, because if you start getting any more penalties at this time, you might as well consider your day over and done with. Go and get an early shower. I still believe Alex is going to find himself higher. Having seen the pace that he has to show, I think he's going to have something to say about P4. I think he wants to finish higher. Safety car is in this lap as we prepare for green racing once again. When will Zenko take the reins? When will Zenko go? And he's gone. Zenko goes. Diggs, great reaction time to him. Oh no. A little bit of mind games from Zenko. Install in with a 10-second penalty. As Zenko gets this racing, we are live again once again. Green racing as we resume. Zenko P1, there are loads of positions being changed currently lower down the grid. Sulkin has pitted again. He's not serving the drive-through. It wasn't green racing when he started. Sulkin, his race has gone. He was first and now he's going to find himself in 15th. Alfie P14. Approaching the back end of Chunks. Alex already, like I said, finding himself up into P3. Although he's dropped to 5th, I'm not quite sure what happened. He's dropped to 5th. Vincent finding himself P4. He's gained 10 positions. Zenko's gained 12 positions. As Sulkin has decided to DNF. Sulkin he's ended it. He started 5th. He was up in 1st after an amazing strategy call on the inters. He got unfortunate with a drive-through. He's pitted. Hasn't been able to serve his drive-through. And he has called it there. Great move from Alex going up the inside of Stowe. Vincent, Alex back in P4 where he started this as Kegis makes an audacious dive bomb. What on earth was that? Alex has dropped to 6th. I'm not sure if he's got damage. It doesn't look like he does. But Kegis came out from nowhere. What was he doing? We still have Zenko P1 in this race. Zenko, DZ pitting again. I suppose it doesn't really matter for him. He can pit as many times as he wants. He's got a point for today, so long as he keeps it on track. Zenko P1, Diggs 7 tenths behind him. There's 5 laps left of this race, and the only person who I genuinely thought was going to have anything to say about Zenko winning this race was Alex. And, oh, he's made contact. He is in the gravel. Oh, Alex is falling down the order. What is happening? What on earth is happening? All the front runners are going. Sulkin DNF. Dingaling DNF. Alex in P9. Kegis P4. Fency, who was 3rd, is now in 7th. What on earth is happening? If Alex can find himself back upon the podium by the end of this race, you can consider this a masterclass race. Maybe it's the ghost of the LBL. Maybe it's Cam Dog. Maybe it's just his raw presence is scaring people. Oh, one of the OGs, man. I was so glad to see him come back for the lineup. We of course do have some other OGs returning next week. Nico, Alfie's teammate, he's returning. Scott should be here next week. We have Ace Drakes next week, and also Grimes. You could almost call him the antagonist of the initial season of the LBL to Danny1499 in the Hall of Goats. We will remember. He was something to behold. He was initially a reserve, and then he came in and he ended up storming the league. But Grimes was the person to take him all the way to the final race of the season. Kegis up to P3. He got past Zeno. Alex still in P8. He's behind this little train here as Driv goes wide and gets a penalty for his interpretation of racecraft. Alex is P8. However, Kegis also picking up a penalty. That's amazing for Zeno as we have 4 laps left. Alex P8. But the 4 people in front of him all have penalties. What on earth is going on here? Oh no, oh no, oh no, there's contact. Oh, it's just going all over the place. It's all over the place. Just as you thought it was starting to get better for Alex, it's happened again. It's happened again. Zenko is leading this race by 2 seconds. We have just over 3 laps left. Calm, composure. He may just bring this home. As a reserve, in the same fashion of the initial season, a reserve actually won the first race. Alex P8, 4 people in front of him all have penalties. Cam in P10. Install and Alfie getting into it. As Cam in P11, he's pushing Alfie wide. We're not having any of that. That will be investigated. I'm sure that will be clipped. We are not having any of that after this race. We will not be having any of that. We're staying on board with Alfie. Clean racing once again, says the Audi race engineer. I'm not too certain about that, as Alfie does get in front of Cam. We're on lap 24. Alex, 6/10 behind Driv, who was running in P3, has dropped to 6th. Alex, like I said before the race started, just because you're the pole sitter does not mean you're going to win this race. However, I do believe, after some of the things I have seen, I do think there are going to be steward submissions. I do think there are going to be... Oh, Alex nearly losing it. I do think there are going to be penalties applied. 4 people in front of Alex all have penalties. If Alex can do something in the last 2.5 laps, he may still salvage a podium from this race. Zenko leading the race by 3 seconds. He's storming it. Diggs in P2 with Zeno just behind him. Kegis following very close as well. This is the battle for P2, of course. Diggs in P2 and is the only one of these 3 drivers to not have a penalty. Fenty P5, a great recovery drive from himself after being disconnected. Who knows where he would be if it wasn't for that disconnection. Alex up into P6. He's just about got the job done, I think, on Driv. Does he? Does he? He does indeed. He's got the job done on Driv. He needs to start closing this gap down to Fenty. As Zeno and Diggs are getting into it, this is going to do Alex a world of good. They are all slowing each other down, which will bring Fenty into play. Look at that, 4 tenths gained. 5 tenths gained. While they are all scrapping for this position, they are all going to be losing time, as there's contact between the Haas and the Ferrari there. All the while, Zenko is taking this race. He's taking this race win straight to the bank. He started 13th. He's in P1. He's having the dream of his life. Dream of his life? He's having the race of his life. Alex closing in on Fenty, as Kegis has got past Diggs. I didn't quite see that. Kegis and Zeno, of course, are both just trying to get as far away as possible so they can stay on the podium. But like I said, nobody knows what is concrete until all steward submissions have been finalised and penalties have been dished and served accordingly. This is absolutely riveting stuff. As we start the last lap of the race, Zenko leading the grid. He will take his final tour around the Silverstone GP as Alex sets the fastest lap. That is an extra point for Alex, should he keep it. Chunk with a penalty. Bonnie Fish has retired from the session. This has been an absolute, it's almost like a Cinderella story. You have a bad qualifying, you start 13th, you get a bit of luck, you know, not everything is always skilled, there is luck involved in things like this. And for Zenko, this is exactly what's happened. Although it's not luck alone that's got him into this position, he's had to do everything at the right moment, he's kept the pace, he's kept the gap. Zeno can only do so much to catch him, but I don't think it's going to matter. He's got a 1.4 second gap to close down in just over a sector. Zenko initially didn't want to race. He says he was forced, although I think in a couple of corners time he will be glad that he was forced to race. The silver arrows around Silverstone on the top step of the podium, a combination you hear quite often. And for the final time, Zenko will take this chicane as he is coming round the final corner, and it is Kintune Zenko who will take the race win at Silverstone. Zeno P2, Kegis P3. Fency improves to 4th, but a penalty will drop him to 6th. Alex P5 and Diggs P4. What a result for Zenko. Vincent P7, a good recovery there. Alfie, our darling, our sweetheart, in 8th. Driv dropping to 9th. Zuna in the final 10, in the top 10. The Audis in 11th and 12th. Chunkung's facing the other way. Install P13. And DZ in 14th. But Zenko, the man of the day. Absolutely scintillating racing from himself. Like I said, a little bit of luck was what he needed, but then the rest of the work was his own. He kept P1, he did what he needed to do, and our first race winner of the LBL this season is Zenko, a reserve driver, yet again. Every season, the first race, a reserve wins. And that is the order. We have 14 finishers, just about when DZ crosses the line, bless his heart. DZ will cross the line in just a moment's time. As he comes around the final corner, the last of the racers to cross the line, and that is it. Round 1 has concluded. I would say it has been a biblical race. The resurrection of the LBL, the return of the LBL. Oh, look at it. There will be penalties, I'm sure, to come later on. There will be a lot of submissions to go through. But for now, those are your podium sitters. Zenko, Zeno, and Kegis. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff indeed. Next week we will have a lot more runners, a lot more old faces coming back. But I am very happy with that. Alex does also pick up the fastest lap, so he will get an extra point. Setting a 1:42 dead. He was flying. He was so unfortunate, but Alex was flying. I have a feeling Alex is going to be one of the main contenders for this season, and I cannot wait. Next week we go to Japan for the second round of the LBL. We're starting at 7 PM British Standard Time. Please make sure you are there to watch along as we let all the action unfold yet again. It has been a biblical race. The LBL is back. Thank you all so much for being here. I've been Lawton Lad, you've been biblical, and as always, Viva la LBL.